Before ko mo introduce akong kaugalingon, mo create sa tag positive energy, no? Tudluan ta mo, ako ning gi-practice mo affirm tag good energy sa tong kaugalingon. So you pat your shoulder using your two hands and then tell yourself, I am a multi-millionaire. I am a multi-millionaire. Amen. Okay, thank you. Pero ang proseso, ana, madugo, ha? Madugo kay pinaning kamutan, dili kwarta sa hangin. Pero nindot man, it's so sweet to feel and experience success if you have exerted the effort. Dili kwarta sa hangin. Through your paningkamot, panginabuhi. So, ang akong pagsulod sa Luterio, ang history ani, because I used to be a financial advisor. So si Tonton, sige na ko og kanang encourage nga mag full-time. But before, akong energy, murag na pa sa insurance business. And I understand, booming na kaayo ang real estate. It's just that I cannot just simply afford to just leave behind my clients in the insurance business. Kay didto pug ko nakat-on og financial literacy. So, unsaon pag-manage imuhang income, unsaon imo pagpalambo imuhang kwarta. Kay nindot man ang nakay daghang kwarta, pero ang problema lang kung dili nimo i-manage ang imong kwarta basin mawagtang lang magasto ang tanan. So at that time, murag ang passion naa pa sa insurance, pero side bit lang ako ang real estate niya. Naa pa to sa project selling, wala pa ko sa brokerage niya. Murag tapulan manggod ko anang sigig attend og seminars. In fact, Tonton kan at also attest that nga di kay ko tig-attend sa mga seminars sa office. Kay di ba na mga PKS kada developer. So, man naa naman gud tay kaugalingon natong hiyang, no? I hope makasabot pud mo sa imong kaugalingon kung asa inyong hiyang, go for it. Kay ingon nila, you will bloom where you are planted. So kung asa inyong hiyang, paningkamuti nga ang iyong tanang talento magamit. Right? Okay. So akong nakatunan sa mga projects, murag tapulan, mangyud ko magsigig attend, at the same time ato sa field, mag-property viewing, murag di ginako talent. And then later on, sagsige nako og kanang pakighilambigit sa ubang mga agents, no? And sa uban pod na mga realty firms, kaning mga, usually kung mag-attend kag mga seminars sa brokers, maka-amigo man sad ka og kanang mga kapwa brokers nimo. So maka-acquire po kanila unsa ilang mga style or techniques. So si Tonton, sige ra gihapon ako remind kay murag wa pa ko'y halin at that time. And then last 2014, it has opened up my mind na daghan na may na millionaires si Tonton. Producer man ig millionaires, right? Okay, daghan na kayo ni siya na mugna, no? Na mold nga mga millionaires. So, that is one way of glorifying God. And I'd like to salute and appreciate Tonton for doing that. Okay. Onya, by God's grace, maangko na lang ko, isasad ko sa na-mold niya, being one of the millionaires. Char.com. Nya appreciate pod ko niya kay dili siya galante, no? Nindot nga role model si Tonton. Nindot man gud na kung maka-acquire ka og riches, dili kaayo nimo nga i-show sa tanang mga tawo nga mao na ni ako naagihapon ang humility. So nindot na nga kanang magpabilin ka where you are, ang imuhang essence sa pagkatao. Although ang imong na-acquire, lalom-lalom na or mabaw-mabaw pa ba, pero na ang essence imong pagkatao. So dito na ko nakita nga, kung mo-acquire ko diri og thousands in real estate business, unya diri sa, in insurance business, unya diri sa real estate, kung maningkamot lang gyud ko, in just one transaction, pwede man day ko mamilyonaryo. So kung adto, parihara man na siyang effort, parihara pagkamas-kamas, parihara selling, parihara prospecting, parihara negotiating, parihara closing, right? Salesman na parihara siya og structure. Pero nakita na ko nga, naa paingon ang kwarta karon sa real estate business. But it doesn't mean that I'm underestimating insurance business. Kaya diha man ko nagikan. Diha sad ko nakat-on on how to manage my money. We call that financial management skills. So, nahigmata ko, og sa akong paghigmata, daghan ko og nakatunan. And at the same time, na-bless pod ko kay I made a decision. So when you made a decision that you have to focus on brokerage, that means I have to give my all. Kay kung medyo pabanjing-banjing lang pud ka, kay mo'y uso karon, onya you don't have enough training and at the same time enough knowledge, nya dili ka willing mo cut-on kay naturalmente daghan tag kapalpakan. Ako I myself I have experienced a lot of kapalpakan, no? Kay di man ta mo diretso og teacher mo, agi man ta pagka-estudyante. So when I made a decision 2014, medyo ni angat-angat na akong income. So ang akong income sa insurance in 1 year, let's say 300,000 or 350,000, pwede raman na isa ka transaction sa real estate, di ba? Unya pare, isa ka tuig ni mong kama sa insurance. Unya sa real estate, isa ra ka transaction. So layo kayo og difference. So you have to make a choice. So I made a choice and I never regretted that choice. Okay. Thank you. Nya apil ang pag-ampo. Kay kung naa kay career choice, kung naa kay major decision in life, di ba major decision, biyaan nimo ang kanhing nagbuhi nimo, di ba? Kanhing nagbuhi nimo nga career or business, nya mo biya ka, nimo kalit kag bag venture of another business or another career. Di ba na sometimes na ay anxiety, separation anxiety, magduha-duha ka, confused ka, but with courage, with prayer, and with perseverance, and at the same time openness to learn, you will ever succeed. Dili ka magmahay. So, sa ako it started 2014, murag formal na ako nga pag-embrace sa real estate business. So, 3 years na gikan karon, no? So, sa 3 years na ako nga pag-embrace sa real estate, specifically brokerage, kay wala man gud ko ni prosper sa project, but it doesn't mean I'm underestimating project business. It's just that this is my niche market. Unsa nang niche market? Meaning mo na imong specialty. No? May imong hiyang. Nanindot man ang imong hiyang because that's where your passion is. Ganado ka mo trabaho. Gusto ka imuhang interest. So mas productive. You will have more income and more blessings. So dito na ko nakita nga mas hiyang kog commercial properties. Nya ang commercial properties, it's just within Cebu City, di ba? Kaya kung ma-entertain kag outside Cebu City, you need to have broker partner as well. Kaya alangan naman it would take so much time to travel. But if there is an opportunity, you need to have a broker partner nga naka-base sa other major city. But within Cebu City, pagkadaghan kaayong commercial properties for selling, even Mandaue, Lapu-Lapu, or Talisay, Minglanilla. So ang commercial manggod, mo'y murag halinon, di ba? May pinakahalinon. So, ingon ko kung adto kog mga farm lots or residential lots, although halinon po siya, mas dagko magkantidad ang commercial lots. But it doesn't mean I'm closing my doors to residential lots. It's just that ang bigger market, ang mas daghag potential market, ang commercial properties. Okay? But for the residential lots, katong nga ginagmay tag isa-isa, okay lang. Pero kung developer, di ba, big time man ilang 5 hectares is the main requirement, bossing, for a developer. 5 hectares. So sa 5 hectares, times, let's say 7,000 or 5,000 per square, pila man na. So 50,000 square meters times 5,000 pesos per square meter, pila man na? 250 million? Right? So in just one transaction, magka 250 million. So dako. And at the same time, kailangan ka og knowledge. So akong sistema, kayo si bossing, ang imong sistema lang kets ang i-share. I understand, natay ka og galingong sistema, right? I'm not underestimating sa tanan, kay naata diri para mo learn kung unsay wala sa imuha. And I have this given thing, matag-usa nato, na natay nakatunan sa brokerage. Maybe through readings, maybe through interview, or maybe through observation, na natay nakatunan, or maybe through actual experience. So, pila na ta kabuan nag-experience or ni-embrace sa real estate, naagit tayo makatunan, na natay nahalin, right? So, na ako'y kauban diri nga na ila-ila, si Nervous, si Ma'am Therese, very professional. I'd like to commend her because she's very professional in the way she deals with clients, in the way she handles with fellow practitioners, right? Just like me, fellow brokers, fellow agents. And I admire her. Inko kanindot ning inani imong kadil. Why? As what Mr. Lutero mentioned, you have to establish your network. What is this network? Ang imong grupo, network of trusted fellow practitioners. Munang, ako when I met her, kay Therese, I really felt happy nga kung nindot ni siya i-partner, nindot siya i-appeal sa akong network because whenever I need a listing, she can readily give me good quality listings. Munang nindot nang makinetwork mo og tao nga maayo mo hatag and at the same time maayo mo procure og good listings. Right? Okay. Kay mas successful, mas ang probability of winning or closing the deal is very high. Kaya ang listing nga gihatag is really within the specifications of the client. So, muna akong sistema. First and foremost, know your listings. Muna na, know your listings. Kaya kung dili nimo ila-ilahon imong listings, unsaan man nimo pag-market? Right? So, before nimo maila-ila imong listings, you have to acquire good listings. So, sa unsang paagi man ka mo acquire og good listings? Sa inyong experience, sa unsang paagi man maka-acquire og good listings? Sa inyong experience. Sa akong experience, if I may share, is maka-acquire ko good listings by or through asking my fellow practitioners. Kaya I don't own all the listings in this world. Naay buyer, naay nag-inquire niya, wala man ko ana. So I better ask my fellow practitioners. Kadtong trusted fellow practitioner within your network. So every time na ako'y buyer, I would text right away my network na amo ani, and please text me right away or you PM me. So that's one way of acquiring good listings. Kay na pre-screen naman na daan from your network. Nya imo pa ginang i-pre-screen, so all the more there would be greater probability that that listing would match the need of your potential buyer. Does it make sense? Okay, so you know your good listing. Sa unsa man pag-ila kung good listing or bad listing? Saan man pag-ila? How would you determine that the listing is good or not good? Ha? Kantigo mo basag title? Titulo ba? Document, that's very critical. You know how to read it? You know how to pre-screen the title? Kabalo no? Oh, you read at the back. That's very critical. For sure, makita ninyo pila ka square meters. Kay base nang gi-advertise nato, 100 square meters, unya 90 lang square meters ang nakabutang sa title. You have to read. And at the same time, at the back of the title, it's very critical. That's where the encumbrance is. That's where the list pendants is. That's where the adverse claim is. So dito nimo ma-discover kung limpyo, if the title is clean or not. Klaro? Okay. So kung medyo dili kahit na komportable mo interpret sa encumbrance, maybe you can also consult a lawyer because there might be legal terms which are not readily understandable based on layman's perspective. So medyo technically or legal kaayo nga terms, maybe we can also consult a lawyer. Kay I myself, I have an experience na annotation nga a perpetual road right of way and by NPC, National Power Corporation, and this refers to the Garnetville subdivision. Na annotation niuntol akong buyer, nganong niuntol ready na magbinayranan namin na due diligence na namin sa due diligence portion. That's why you have to know your listing. Kay mag-due diligence ang buyer. Kung gi-pre-qualify nato atong buyer, ang buyer himself would also pre-qualify your listing. Meaning, he has to pre-screen your listing. So dito nahibalan sa lawyer, kay I thought all the while, as I was advised by the developer, owner of that property, that annotation at the back of the title is just a perpetual road right of way. But, in the end, ang lawyer of my buyer, after some consultation, has advised my buyer not to push through the sale. So it's very sad, no? It's very frustrating to note because you have done so much of this, you have done the negotiation, and in the end, towards on the verge of closing the deal, the buyer decides not to push through the sale. So it's very frustrating, right? However, I have to understand the situation because the lawyer just discovered, upon really reading the annotation at the back, ang perpetual road right-of-way of the NPC, it means, I just discovered it now, it means that no building underneath the wire, the transmission line, no building has to be erected. Kay perpetual man, road right-of-way. I thought all the while there has to be vertical clearance lang, maybe 8 meters length. But when it was consulted by the legal counsel of the NPC, that annotation would mean that no building has to be erected, but the lot has been offered by the developer. But I don't have to mention na lang, ha? Don't have to mention names. So, I just simply advise the buyer, ma'am, it's just okay not to push through with the sale, and maybe we can also secure some other listings for your need. So that's very critical point. Basta perpetual road right-of-way. That's all the time dapat walay i-erect nga property. Some developers, their strategy, they would rather build a road, a subdivision road. Kaya di man siya building, so maagian naghapon. Pero kadto manggod kay tukuran man nimong balay niya, gibaligya sa developer. So dili gyud pwede matukuran. Kung matukuran siya later on, if NPC would ever file a case, pwede gyud ka, pwede mapiktuhan ka. Di naman gud tumatangtang ang annotation from the title. So now I realized, I thought it was just, how do you call that, out of fear on the part of the buyer. I realized that they have to play safe because it's millions. The price of Garnetville nowadays is 25,000 per square. So it's not a joke. Okay, so that's one thing. You have to know your listings. So saan na to pag-usisa? Ako first and foremost, mo require yun ko sa akong fellow practitioners kung makishare ko sa ilang listings, tagay kong lot plan B, I have to know where the boundaries are. Diba, lot plan, you have to know the lot shape, the terrain of the property. Kay labi na residential lot, diba, we have to know the terrain. Kay kung slope, medyo mahal ba yung magpa-build og house sa slope na terrain. But when it's flat, medyo mas cheaper, no? Mas affordable. And you have to know the lot shape. Kaya ang mga Chinese, very particular kayo ng tumbok, very particular ka ng mga edges, ka ng marang gamay bitaw mo, himong triangle. So ganahan na sila as much as possible, rectangle or square. Pero that's very ideal, no? Pero naman ko yung mga irregular shapes sa lot. So we have to know that. And we have to know na measurement kay very critical na nindot gyud mamaligyag property nga dako-dako og frontage labi nag commercial. Yes or no? Road frontage mo nang istudyuhi gini. You have to study the lot plan. That's one way of pre-screening good listings. You have to study the lot plan. You have to visit the property. Kay kung wala ka kaila sa imong property, how can you convince your buyer? Kay namang go uban ako medyo maulaw sa taan nang mo presenta sa tong buyer. Unya first time pa nato nakita ang property. Did you happen to experience that? Okay, automatic naman good kay sometimes aggressive ka ang buyer, ganahan na diya diretsyon niya tan-awon. Naka-experience mo ana? Pero nindot jud kaayo nga unahon nimong tan-aw ang property before nimo i-present sa buyer. Ngano, naa niya yung mga questions niya nga di nimo ma-address. So you have to also ask and clarify that with the listing owner or even the listing agent kung dili na nimo kaugalingon nga listing. So that would form part of pre-qualifying your listings or pre-screening your listings para mas marketable inyong listings, mas ma-convince ang buyer. So kana, clean title, nindot ang property, nice og road frontage, nindot ang shape, nindot ang terrain, unya ang needs sa imuhang mga buyers, medyo mo match og swak na swak. And at the same time, kung wala pa tayo titulo, medyo to follow na lang ng titulo. Ang pinaka-importante is ang lot plan. Okay? Kaysa lot plan manggod, tanan ako mga buyers, based on my experience, enough na ang lot plan, initial meeting pa lang. Okay? Kaya mo man ay ilang guide kung interested sila to check the property. Actual. Kung ganahan gani sila sa lot plan, interested na sila matanaw sa property. Napoy ubang buyer nga, dito din tanaw sa property. And kung sir, ganahan ko na kay idea. Give your clients a raw idea. It may not be the whole idea of the property, but at least naa sila initial idea, how does the property look like? Diba? Manang nindot nga naka-initial info nga ihatag sa client, pila ang lot area, pila ang road frontage, unsa ang lot shape, unsa ang terrain, unsa iyang neighboring properties. Kay diba, it will also add value to the property if the neighboring areas are also of good value. Yes or no? Okay. So, bottom line, nindot kaayo if you are representing good listings. Diba? If you represent good listings, if you're bringing in good listings, that will also give you good image as a broker and as an agent. Yes or no? Okay. If you also have a good image, di ba pleasant kaayo ang dealing sa imuhang potential buyer? Kay mahappy man sila nga nindot imong gipanghatag. Nindot kay paminawon nga, gets daghan lagi kag maayo nga mga listings. No, kay ang ubang broker no maingon man nako nga or ang ubang agent nga, wa man ko'y listings, ana, sir, ay, mangita pa ko. But if you give options, good options to your seller, niya daghan siyang kapilian, dili lang isa ka buo, kay what if di mo qualify sa iyang need, ang imong ihatag, na pa siya other options. Kay ikaw mismo, kung kabalo ka sa needs sa imuhang buyer, that's why you have to know, acquire good listings and then know your listings. Second phase of my system is you have to be visible in the market. If you're very visible in the market, especially if you have the website, I just realized now na there's a need already for me to put up a website aside from Filipino Homes. Nga no, naadyo kay backup nga website because I only rely on, you know, mga free nga websites, kay wala man tayo additional nga i-shell out nga cash. But nowadays, with the wake-up call of our bossing, we have to be very competitive, highly competitive, and we have to be digitally competitive. Muna ako nakita karon kay di para ba kay ko digitally literate, no? I may not be digitally literate unlike bossing. Nindot di ay that we have to be digitally literate, digitally aware because it is through digital awareness and digital expertise nga mas spread nato, mas ma-visible ang atong listings in the market nowadays. Kaya ang mga tao karon just by one touch imuhang property visible na nila. Yes or no? Through internet. So mo nang uban na mga realty firms medyo slow ang ilang dagan, ang pace sa ilang growth because they remain stagnant. They remain to basic bitang marketing strategies, very raw pa kaayo nga marketing strategies. But with Filipino Homes, we're always advanced, we're always high-tech. That's our edge, that's our advantage. And with the help and with the assistance of our big bossing, with the motivation of our big bossing, that's already an edge on our part, being part of the Filipino Homes. So being visible in the market. So once you're visible in the market, a lot of potential buyers magkadipo-dipo. Honestly speaking, magkadipo-dipo nagyud kag entertain sa mga inquiries. Why? Unsaon man pag-inquire sa mga potential buyers if you're not visible in the market? Nya kung giunsa pad nimo, how would you present yourself in the market? In a form of your property albums. Diba? You need to have clear pictures of your property, right? Do you have good camera? Kung wala kay good camera, you have to manage your phone camera. Diba? There is, na siya kuanin mo ang ISO, you have to adjust. You have to adjust the scene. You have to adjust the, how do you call that? Daghan kag i-adjust, even if it's just a phone cam, you can have a good pictures of the property. Kailangan matag natural light. So if there's no natural light, i-adjust nato atong camera. Why we need good pictures? Kay visual ang atong market nowadays. Very visual. Yes or no? Okay. So kung attractive sa marketing, kung attractive atong pictures plus a good description of your property. We are now talking about market visibility in the website. If you have your own website or if you have Filipino Homes as a website, if you have your own website or the free websites just like Cebu Classifieds, locanto.com.ph, Property24, OLX, it has its own fee already. Did you avail of OLX still? Are you availing still the OLX? It has its own fee already per listing, right? And it has its own package. So, market visibility, you have to create good description kay usay manggod ang atong description sa property di masabtan sa reader. Nya kung gubot bitaw atong description sa property, maski pag usa ka nindot ang picture sa property, if the description of the property is not very specific and very clear, it will discourage the readers. Mas moadto siya sa lahi nga listing. Is that clear? Okay. That will promote more market visibility when it comes to your listings. If you have created a good album, a good description of your property, and good pictures as well. Clear? Okay. So, adto na tang punto sa know your client. Ilahon nimo imong client kay magkadipo-dipo naman ka kay di ba market visible na kay ka sa market, daghan na kay kag postings or listings, so daghan na kag inquiries. Naiuban they would hire call center agents. So kung medyo di pa ta ka-afford og call center agents, kita man gyud mo answer sa atong call, no? Kamoy mo answer sa inyong mga calls, wala mo yung mga secretary. Or maybe some of you here have your own secretary. Nindot nang natay secretary kay I understand, mo field work pa ta, mo answer pa tag calls, daghan kay tag role. Naobserbahan na ninyo, daghan tag role, no? Mo internet pa ta, mo email pa ta, mo create pa tag album, mo picture pa tag property, mo answer pa tag call, mo field work pa ta, mo drive pa ta. Okay lang natay driver, pero mahal pud na mo hire og driver. Okay? Unya akong friend diri bago kay siya car, and I'm so happy to know that. Okay, that's out of her blessings. Okay, and I think a lot of you here have also that blessing. You were able to acquire a car, a house, or a lot out of your blessings from your real estate business. And it's so nice to hear. So, knowing your clients. So, unsaon na to pag-ila? Are you still with me? Nasabtan ko? Okay, i-shortcut lang siguro na ako kay napatay second speaker, no? Kaya akong sistema, maura man gini. Acquire good listings, that means know your good listings. Acquire good listings and know your listings. Upon knowing and acquiring good listings, market visibility. Meaning, you have to create an album, create good description, pre-qualify these listings, and then post it in the internet for market visibility. When there is market visibility, more inquiries would come. If there are more inquiries, that means you have list of potential buyers. From these potential buyers, potential lang na, they are not all sure buyers. Yes or no? That's where pre-qualification would take place. Dapat we need to have that skill on how to pre-screen and how to pre-qualify your buyers para dili magasto atong gasolina, dili magasto atong effort, atong time, sige answer sa ilang phone calls unya. Nag-brokering ra daining buyer, nagpabayar-bayar ra, nag-brokering pa, nag-acquire pog listings from your end. Di ba hago kahit sige answer sa ilang inquiries, nya dili dai sila sure buyer or direct buyers kay nag-brokering. So first and foremost, sa phone call, mangutana gyud ko, may I know your complete name? Kay lisod ka ay nang ma-inquire niya, wala nagpaila sa ilang pangalan, no? Kay basin day, wail siya, unya, tagalain na day siyang realty. Daghan ra ba kaay na, diha sa internet. Uso kaayo, manang be gentle, kay sometimes so ma-stricta sa kani nga industry, no? Kanang, we have to be tough. Kay kung medyo magpa-girl sa tagmaayo, murag ilaron sad ta. Have you experienced that? Oh, ilaron ta niya, murag matreten sad, no? Ang atong ego, ana. So, that's one thing. You have to know where you are, where you stand. So, una-una, for sure, we have to be gentle in asking personal details, some personal details of your clients. Yang complete name. Then, mangutana gyud ko, based on my experience, I don't know if this will hold true to you, mangutana ko, are you the direct buyer? Or are you an agent or a broker or a referring agent? Okay. Sometimes they're just friends of the buyer or they're just but staff of the buyer, iyahang secretary. That means this staff, this person is a referring agent. Nya na may uban nga, dili sila mo imply as an agent, pero mangayad commission. So agent pa rin, no? May commission, dili sila registered agent, pero mupahiwatig man sila nga, they have to be shared when it comes to commission. So, we have to establish that. kung siya is a direct buyer or a direct listing owner, meaning listing agent, or nag-brokering na ba siya, nag-acquire lag listings ng agent sa siya. Kaya ako, there's nothing wrong sharing your listings with fellow practitioners. But first and foremost, she has to declare himself or herself that she is an agent or broker. Dili siya mo-assume as a buyer, kaya magdahong bayat ang buyer, diretsyo, di ba? Mananindot, pangutanon. Ako, I would always appreciate ka na mag-inquire that you would introduce their names, or they would introduce themselves, actually, I'm an agent, and I have a sure buyer, blah, 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 blah. Mo-appreciate ko, ana, by all honesty. Kontra sa magpabayar-buyer sila, o niya, mo-acquire na sa imong listings. Kaya it's not easy to do brokering. Kaya ako, I myself, this is my personal stand. I don't know if this will hold true to you. I feel ashamed to share my listings with others if these listings are not my direct. Why? First and foremost, wa kay authority to do brokering with these listings. Second, maluoy man ko sa listing owner nga daghan na kay mo kanat-kanat na bitaw unya ma-misrepresent and everything. Nya mag-away na dayon sa sharing of commission. Muna ako ang ginalikayan. But it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just that we have to ask permission from the listing agent or listing broker if he or she would allow brokering. Meaning, i-share nimo with other agents. There's nothing wrong with that. Pero mananghid ta. Kay, slindot man gud nang na-open ay transparency. So, at least, when it comes to sharing pohon, everybody is happy. Correct? Are you still with me? Are you still alive? Okay. So, muna, know your client. First, nganong kailangan nato ila-ilahon natong client aside from personal details, kung sure buyer ba siya or dili, iyang pangalan, pinaka-importante, ilahang budget, o ilahang project, o ilahang lot requirement. Kay usay, magpataka nata, tripping dayon, unya, pag abot dito sa field, ay, di man ko ganahan ani, kaya ang akong itukod is dormitory man, yung layo man ni siya sa sibilisasyon, layo mas mga eskwelahan, magbaktas og layo ang akong mga lodgers or kung dormitory. So we have to know the lot area requirement, kung pila lang iyahang needed, pila lang iyang budget, unsay project na i-put up. I think this has been mentioned, I mentioned this last time na nindot nga we pre-qualify the needs of your client. Why? Mas dali kung gi-pre-qualify nimo ang needs sa client kay dako kag batting average kung ni-offer kag listings within the specifications of your client. Nakuha ninyo akong punto? Mura na siya matchmaking, di ba? Na matchmaking business sa internet karon, mga dating sites, di ba? They match the personality of this person with this girl. Maura na nga punto, matching the needs of your clients with your listings. So kung imong listing, dili mo match sa needs sa client, ayaw na lagi offer. Or else, imo pag yung usisahon, unsa pa magyulaing needs sa imong client, until such a time nga kana nga need mag-match sa imuhang listings. Because later on, whenever that happens, and if you match well your listings with the needs of your buyer, chances are you can close the deal. Believe me, chances are there is a very high probability that you can close the deal. Kaya nga nung mangita pa man siya lain, nga ni-match naman iyang need at a very good price, reasonably priced properties, at a very good site, very good lot area, very good location, nindot kaayo ang property, clean title, nga nung mangita pa man siya lain, na naman iyang need. So there is a high probability of closing the deal. So bottom line lang, matchmaking business ra kita and trustworthy business. It's an investment on trust. If you're trustworthy, as a broker, as an agent, chances are this client of yours will also tell his fellow developers or fellow builders or iyang mga friends in the business nga you contact this person because he is a good agent. Diba? Ma-refer na ka. And at the same time, kung dito sa imuhang website po, credible kayo imuhang mga listings, kasaligan kayo ang imuhang mga gipang post dito, daghay mo contact nimo. In fact, I've got plenty of mga sellers mo contact na. They don't know me. They just see me in the internet, magpabaligya sa ilang properties. aside from potential buyers, magpabili, but they don't know me. I haven't met this person, but they want me to sell their property. Kaso lang, lagyo naman good. Catanduanes, Lozonia. If you don't have the right person to also deal with potential clients, lisod kaayo ang pag-coordinate. So better ako, yes, network. So if you have network in Palawan, network in Bohol, so that's the beauty of networking at this time. So, network of trustworthy people, trustworthy practitioners. So, bottom line, with perseverance, with your diligence in the business, and with your knowledge, enough knowledge, nindot kayo ng daghan kag makatunan, especially with fellow practitioners. Nindot kayo nga, daghan kang makatunan on how to deal with the business, kaya mas confident ka on how to deal with your clients. Nya, ang clients na mangita nimo, pangitaon na ka ikat, magkadipo-dipo lagi ka, murag better na to have secretary, call center agents, or encoder later on. Kay, ingon yun ko nga, ganahan mo sa kumarest, uy, kanang dili kay daghan ng calls. Kaya di ba we also need to have our personal space? Better recharge yourself, ha? Don't get so hooked with so much longing to have more money. Don't be so wrapped up with so much longing for riches. But you also have to have time for yourself. Because health is wealth. Thank you.